All right, this is a little embarrassing that I'm like announcing this to like everyone. But
Okay, welcome back everyone to CT Scan episode 10. Today we have on number 1, Caleb Nimmer. I was practicing that all day. I practiced it one time. It sounded better that time.
yeah, what's up?
What's up?
Introduce yourself.
I'm Caleb Nimmer, and yeah, that's about it.
That's all there is to him.
That's all there is.
Nothing else.
All right, I guess I'll introduce him. Plays basketball for Timpanogos High School, the school in which we attend.
Yes.
Starting, what do you call yourself? Forward, a center? What?
A center for our team.
Really? Okay. Yeah, but he shoots threes, so is he really a center?
I've known Caleb for Nimmer. It's weird to call you Caleb. Nimmer since we had chemistry last year, and that's when we kind of started to bond, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Bond and chemistry?
Strong bond.
Oh, yeah.
Chemical bond, strongest one.
Now we have one class this year, but we don't sit by each other, and so it's sad. Yeah.
Shut up, Mr. Negro.
Yeah.
All right.
Would you like a drink at this time?
I would.
What do you want?
I would like some water.
He was offered bacon bits and he refused.
Yeah. Would you like anything else in this water?
Do you have a grape?
A grape?
Yeah, I can have a grape in it.
Just one grape.
I would love a grape. Oh my gosh. Love some grape flavored water.
Oh, yeah.
You know that like lemon water they have, like at fancy
I hate
things?
that.
Yeah, I hate it too.
I hate it.
I don't know, I like it.
Really?
You like it? Oh, I think
I'm like,
it's
I'd rather
disgusting.
just have some lemonade.
Or I'd rather just have water.
Or just water, you know?
But like not a mix.
Yeah, it's
an awkward
no,
mix.
it's
Yeah.
gross.
Let us know if you agree, by the way.
Yes. We always talk about the most controversial things on here, as you know.
Yeah, and we would love to get your feedback in any of the ways we mentioned last time.
Yes.
Specifically, like, the most easy one for us is probably YouTube comment.
Just, yeah.
Because it notifies us and we see it really quick, so... Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into this, shall we?
Okay.
All right. So we kind of want to talk about basketball, obviously.
All right, sounds good.
The season's just wrapping up here, and we have the state playoffs. So we wanted to ask you, do you have like any favorite games so far this season?
Yeah. For sure the PG one.
Oh, really?
We haven't beat PG in a very long time, and it was really nice to beat
That was
them.
the dopest game
That was
ever.
a great game.
Like, there were some other really great, like, close ones that, like, we came out with in the end, but that one was just insane.
Just how packed it was, just how many people were there.
Oh, yeah.
Both
pretty cool.
sides, nuts.
I totally agree. That was probably the most memorable game for me, too, as a
Definitely.
fan.
Yeah.
I'm really glad I didn't film that one because I really wanted to be in the stands for it.
It was fun.
So how did you do personally that game?
I had a pretty good game.
Okay.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other one was probably against Orem at Orem.
Really?
It's pretty memorable.
That was a good game.
Yeah.
That was also really fun.
That was.
Do you like check your like stats and stuff?
Yeah. There's this app that we have. It's called Huddle, and I don't know if it's a person or a computer, just goes through it and counts up the stats for everyone, and then it has like percentages, and I just go and look at that after every game.
Okay.
So yeah.
Does it affect the way you play at all?
No, not really.
Okay.
So you don't really care like too much about the stats, so you can't just go and check and
I mean,
like
you can check like rebounds and stuff, and you're like, man, I need to get more rebounds here and there. So you might play a little bit more physical, but it doesn't really affect the way you shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good, because like for me, anytime there is like a number in any sort of feedback of mine, I feel like I start to like obsess over those numbers a little bit, whether it's
for sure.
views on YouTube or if it's like grades and climbing. I find myself constantly like getting way too sucked into the numbers sometimes, and it kind of pulls you away from the real thing.
I 100% agree with that. I think I'm like a really analytical person also. I think it would be really cool if in heaven you went up and you could see all your stats.
There's so many things I would want to see.
That would not be good for me. Not be good for me.
No, there's like plenty of things. Like I would want to know how many gallons of milk I drank because I drink so much milk.
How many people I skipped without opening the door for them? That would be a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, it would be cool to see some of your good stats, but some
How
of your
far
bad
you've
stuff.
walked in your entire life or traveled.
Yeah.
Things
Oh,
like
that
that.
would be
Or
impressive.
like your overall shooting percentage. You know what I mean? Do you think you would be good or bad?
Overall, I'm pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm not
Pretty
gonna lie. I
bad.
would be pretty bad too.
I would be horrible. Literally underneath 10%. Way less. Under 5. I don't even know. Minuscule.
It was cool today. We played at Valhalla, the PG gym. That's like really nice.
Yeah.
And it was just like a pickup game. And I felt like I could shoot, and it was like effortless. And like the hoop was so much closer or like lower or something.
Bigger.
It's
It's like a hula hoop.
what it is. But you have those moments where you get like a hot hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's different on if you play on like a junior high gym or high school gym, because if you've ever like, I guess neither of you have dunked it, but if you've dunked it on a high school rim, compared to a junior high rim, the high school rim's a lot softer, so a lot more your shots go in. Because
Really?
it has to be softer for a person to dunk on, so it doesn't break the backboard. Junior high rim, they don't allow you to dunk on a lot because it's not as much bend in the rim, so you can break the backboard a lot easier. So a lot of the balls, they don't get as much like trap on the rim if they hit it. So a lot more shots go in high school rims.
Okay, I didn't know that. Well, actually, there's these two churches by my house, and we prefer one of the churches a lot better because we feel like our shots go in.
Yeah, the softer the rim, the
So
more your
maybe,
shots
yeah.
will go in.
Okay, that's interesting. Is there stuff like that, like climbing wise, like
We just say there's a high gravity day when you can't climb well.
really?
Like,
So it's like, would you say you could climb better at different gyms?
oh, okay. Some gyms, like with certain grades, they're like way more sandbagged, is like what we call it, when like they're not true to like the real criteria of the grade. So a lot of people, for instance, like to climb at Momentum Lehigh sometimes. Aside from the quarry, because the quarry has short walls and just really difficult hard moves, and you get to Lehigh and you like, that's where I got some of my hardest grades for the first time because they just seem easier. It's all subjective with those grades, but this I feel like is a lot different where it's just like shots and like each route is different with climbing that.
Okay.
Honestly, I just forget about grades and I just climb because it's fun.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So kind of jumping back to basketball a little bit, what would you say is like one of the biggest factors in having success as a team?
Just I've played with a lot of the people on our team since elementary school, and just playing every day. I can't even count the amount of times that we've just played pickup or one-on-one, and so we just know how to play with each other. That helps a lot. There's a lot of, if you look at some teams, you see there's a lot of people who hate each other. I can't think of anyone on our team who just hates one another. Everyone is friends on our team, and if I look at other teams, there's always certain groups that don't like other groups, and that helps a lot with us.
Okay. Yeah.
Totally. Like having like any sort of like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Bond.
No, conflict like within
Yeah.
a team or anything like that. No matter like what sort of sport you're doing, it like just kind of deteriorates the team as a whole so much. Whether it's just like a couple people that just like, I don't know, just like have a bad attitude like towards other people or just like in general, it just pulls away from the group so much. So it sounds like you guys like are all super tight, which is really cool, and honestly like why I wish I did like a team sport more. But like I feel like you guys kind of are a more unique group because you guys all seem really tight.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but that's not to say like conflicts don't come up though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
no.
there's always conflicts
It's
come up,
bound
but
to happen.
if you like, since we know each other, we know how to get around things. The most of conflict lasts is maybe at least 2 days.
Really? Okay. Wow, that's good.
I can't think of anything. You might tell him like, hey, like that was dumb what you did, like you might tell him some other stuff, but you get over it. In basketball, you might hit him a little bit harder that day, but you get over it because you realize that to have success, you need to both be on the same page.
Okay. So one time, Trey and Easton, they're in my sports medicine class, and they were talking about how you play so much better when you're mad. Do you think that's true?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
So is there like anything like ritual wise to get you mad or?
Get all fired up. You know?
There is something that I do before every game. I watch a certain video, and some things happen during the season, which led to me not playing as much as I wanted to. So every time I watch that video, it just reminds me how I need to reach those expectations that I have for myself, and it gets me kind of mad. And
but probably like a good mad.
A good mad. Good mad.
Productive mad.
Yeah, a good mad. Not mad at like my teammates, mad at myself, and it makes me play harder and get a lot more shots in the hoop.
Okay, that's good.
That's interesting. Like for me, like I can't be like mad at myself like that. Like if I ever feel like mad at myself, I feel like it almost pulls away from my actual training, and I just get more frustrated. Like and almost like I don't know. It's not even like I'm really cracking down on myself because like I've always loved training, the whole aspect of it, and like progressing, but I've just like as soon as I get mad at myself and get frustrated, it just takes out like so much of the fun for me. But do you still think you like have a lot of fun though, even though like you're getting kind of fired up and like, but you're just pushing more of yourself out, like pushing yourself more. But do you still like enjoy it?
Yeah, there's a difference between with me. There's a difference between being mad at things that are happening to me. And when that happens, then you get frustrated. You start doing dumb stuff. But there's a thing where if you're mad at yourself, like you aren't like putting yourself down, but you know you can do better, and it pushes you to get to do better. And that just it's really.
So have you found that it's better when you get mad at yourself rather than someone else?
Yes, for sure.
So what if it's like a coach?
If you get the coach is different because you're not really playing with the coach. That's a lot different. Getting mad at a coach, it might push you to try and prove that coach wrong. It's different than getting mad at a player because when you're mad at a player, you might like second guess a pass to them and you might miss an open shot for them. So it depends on certain factors in which you get mad at.
Yeah. Okay. I've always felt like I respond almost better to negative criticism. You know, when I have someone yelling at me. Then it pushes me, to prove them wrong or, like you said, just to work harder in general. But also, like you said, if it's a teammate, I kind of just get annoyed, It doesn't really push me very much.
I get that.
So you said you had that ritual of watching that video. Do you have, like, any specific food that you eat before games?
Not really a food. I always make sure to eat an hour and a half before, never any earlier.
Really?
I mean, never any later. Always an hour and a half. I make sure to get to the gym at 5:30. Games start at 7. It's just a thing I have. I always wear the same game socks. There's just certain things that you do. That you just always have that superstition that'll help you.
Yeah, okay.
And every time we have on our team the superstition, every time we lose, we change the thing we wear to school that game day. If you win, you wear the same thing next game day. So it's just a lot of superstition.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, on the cross country team, we didn't have very many superstitions like that.
I have next to none.
Yeah, I was for sure like a ritual person. For cross country, you want to make sure your stomach's empty, so I would eat 3 hours before. And then have a light snack about half an hour before, like maybe a banana. But like I understand with basketball how that's a lot different because you need the fuel.
Cross country races last like 16, 17 minutes.
Yeah.
And then basketball games can last an hour.
True. I'm kidding.
That 60 minutes is a good time.
Yeah.
A basketball game can last an hour and a half.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a lot different.
Yeah, that's way long.
I've always wondered like if teams would benefit from eating like during halftime or something.
Oh no.
Really?
No.
You think you would be too rough on your stomach?
Yeah, no.
Because when I play basketball, my games like aren't as long unless it's a pickup. Like, those go for hours. But I always like eat right before I go, and it hurts for a little bit, but then like. After that, I'm fine, and I can play for a lot longer.
I always eat during my warm-up for climbing, so usually like 30, 45 minutes before I go out into like the chair before the climb. I always have apples and peanut butter, so I guess that's a ritual, but it's usually just what's easy to eat.
Yeah, okay.
But like, I always have nervous stomach so
Peanut butter has been a nightmare for me.
I love
peanut butter is so nice.
Every time, so much fuel. I used to think that it was like really great. But like I don't know what it is. My body just doesn't like it. Like I had it on the starting line, or not on the starting line, but like as my like snack, half an hour before, and on the starting line, I might have mentioned this last episode when we were talking about throw up, but I threw up. I threw up
You
on
didn't-
the starting.
Oh, you did not
That's
mention
embarrassing.
that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was
embarrassing.
horrible. I was just like by the side, and it wasn't that I was like nervous. I just threw up because my stomach was feeling awful, and everyone was like looking at me.
I'm like, dude, he's so
Yeah.
nervous.
And actually,
You
the
won.
race started
Oh.
as I was finishing up, and so I just started running. And it was probably my worst race ever.
Oh my
It
gosh.
was a Park City Invitational for anyone who knows that. But
Dang.
yeah, it was our team's worst race of the year too. Not because I was throwing up.
I mean,
but,
it contributed a
It,
little.
it might have, yeah.
Ah, that sucks.
Yeah. Oh, it was horrible. Yeah. I don't really want to go into throw up again.
Yeah, we talked about it for 15 minutes in the last one.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of more times. Fun fact, I got really sick right after we talked about throwing up, and
Oh,
I threw
yeah.
up 4 times that night.
Oh boy.
Out of my nose.
I think that is hilarious.
It was disgusting.
I got a text the next morning, and Tanner was like, "Dude, I threw up 4 times last night."
Bro, throwing up at least something is better than just dry heaving.
I
That's
I
true.
would much
Dry
rather
heaving-
throw up
dry
something than
heaving
dry
sucks.
heaving.
Oh, all of it just sucks. You're just like convulsing. Your whole
Yeah, but
body
throwing
just
up-
like
We're
it's
not
tight.
talking about-
Throwing up doesn't hurt
Just-
your body. Dry heaving hurts your chest so much.
Yeah, that is true.
Oh.
I 100% agree. All right, let's move on before we
This
get
one
too
time?
No.
I have so
All
many
right.
dope stories.
Let's see. So we kind of talked about motivation. Let's see. We can move down the list here. What are you insecure about?
Insecure about.
That's what I'm insecure about.
No, I'm on the basketball team, so you know, there's a lot of guys that get around. So whenever I try and roast someone, they roast me about how I don't really get a lot of girls. So a little insecure about that.
It's okay.
No, there's nothing wrong with
Yeah, like I
Match
was.
the club.
We were talking about this actually. There's this sophomore who always bugs me. He's like, Tanner, where'd your game go? I can't see it anywhere. It's not out here. It's not
Yeah.
here. It's not there.
That's annoying.
It's fine. Sophomores are just horny, so they just indulge themselves a lot
It's really
more.
true, honestly.
Yeah.
Like
It's
thinking
not
about
that
your
I don't have
sophomore
game.
year. I have game. Like thinking back to sophomore year, it seemed like everyone was like trying to,
Everyone was trying to get down.
trying to get down.
Because they didn't know how to have
Not
actually
me.
have fun.
Not me, guys. I was a nerd in sophomore year.
It's true. Me neither. I stayed out of that stuff.
I struggled.
I
I struggled
think
getting hugged from girls in sophomore year. It was tough.
I think I saw you like one time sophomore year, and then I saw you the next year, and I like didn't recognize you. I was like, who? But like, what?
Big
Yeah.
Because I knew your
difference.
older brother first too, and like you guys didn't look that similar, so I was like always so confused.
Oh yeah. Speaking of his older brother, I was like pretty good friends with him because he ran cross country.
Ah.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about him a little? Or?
All my brothers ran cross country.
I didn't
Really?
realize how
Oh,
many siblings you actually had.
7 siblings, yeah. Three brothers and 1 sister ran cross country. Elijah, do you remember Elijah?
Yeah, I
He was part of
remember
the 5th in nationals.
Oh yeah.
Team.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
on that team.
Yeah,
Dang.
I'm the only boy in my family to play basketball.
Really?
Everyone else played soccer and ran cross
Isaiah was
country.
good at basketball though. Like he was decent.
He was decent.
So-
like, he knew how to run screens and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he
That's-
played basketball as a kid.
Yeah, but that's interesting though. The youngest like is the one that like does something completely different. Because most of the times the youngest one just like kind of picks one of the paths that the older one has. Especially with so many siblings too. So what really got you into basketball? Like you just like, man, I'm just gonna do this, even though none of your older siblings really were pursuing it that much.
As kids, my parents, they put each one of us in so many sports. I played baseball, soccer, did basketball. I was on swim team.
Really?
And I hated baseball. I was awful at it. It was always the coach's son who pitched. I just hated it. So I got out of that. Soccer, I just gave them that. It just wasn't fun enough for me. I just didn't really enjoy it. Swim team, I was actually really, really good at. I was just decided that basketball was the thing that I enjoyed the most, and so I quit swim team and just went and played basketball because it's just fun.
Yeah. Okay. I played a lot of sports like that as a kid growing up. I never did swim team, but I took swimming lessons every summer.
I think
and
I did
hated
that
it,
too.
so.
It's like buried deep in my memory. I think I remember it, but I don't know.
Yeah. I actually really like baseball. And like I used to pitch, and I was like really good. I thought, because like they would always put me in like when they needed, strikeouts. Because the thing is like I could throw it accurate enough to get a strike, and the kids that age could not hit a dang, you know? So, like, if you threw a strike, you were going to get strikeouts. And so I was good at throwing strikes. And then going into, like, it might have been, like, 5th or 6th grade, on my team, the coach never let me pitch. Because his son pitched, like you said. Yeah,
it's always the coach's son.
Yeah, and I remember, I remember just being so frustrated. And then, like, the very last game he let me pitch, and I had, like, 9 strikeouts.
Dude.
And I felt so, like, I was like, bro, you didn't put me in all season, and I just showed, you know. And then I never played baseball again. But
I had no idea you did baseball. Yeah, I feel like as kids, like, everybody did so many different random sports.
Yeah. It was just elementary school, so.
Yeah. Did you ever have any other, like, random interests for a bit besides basketball? Like, where you were like, no, I actually really want to do this instead, or was it always just been basketball?
A little embarrassing. Actually, I can't say embarrassing because there's a lot of kids who do it. But I was in choir and band for a while.
Really?
I actually really enjoyed it. And then I got to high school and I was like... I don't know if
we
this
were
is,
in choir up until
sophomore it's like year. I don't know if this is for me, so I got out of that and just
Did you do choir in 10th grade or sophomore year?
For sophomore year I did it for 1 term, just
really?
to finish credits. Because after 9th grade I was like, I gotta focus on basketball. I can't be doing choir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My parents were kind of mad that I didn't do choir, but whatever.
Yeah, I think the high school atmosphere was a lot different than a junior high atmosphere.
Yeah,
totally.
Sure. Junior high, I had so many friends.
Exactly. Yeah, there's so many homies in there.
And it was fun. Yeah.
Not to say choir kids aren't homies.
Choir kids are homies, but I just got into choir and there was no one in there I knew. I was just like, I'm out. I'm leaving.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I did a lot of weird things when I was younger. I had a big archery phase for a bit.
Really?
Yeah,
well, that's pretty cool.
I got like a bow and arrow for Christmas, and I would just not Christmas. It was my birthday, and I go outside like every day
shoot the
and
neighbor's
just
cat.
No, I had a target actually, and I would just shoot it for like forever. Just all afternoon, I just kept shooting it. And
are you still good at it?
I don't know.
Damn,
it's a crappy bow, so it
birds
really
out of
doesn't. I know. I did that one time at my grandpa's house. I brought my bow and arrow down, and he had this bird outside, and I like walked out with it. And I snuck up to it, and I just and I hit it, but it was a dull arrow, so it like flew away. And I felt horrible. But I ran inside, and I told all my cousins like, "Dude, I shot a bird!" Like, no way, do it again. I'm like, I don't want to. Like, well, then you didn't do it. I'm like, crap. So they all followed me out, and I shot another one. I felt really bad.
I've hit a bird with a slingshot before. I felt bad about that. That was really. Felt so bad.
Yeah, I've never hit anything.
That poor
We
bird.
love animals.
That poor bird.
A slingshot.
Imagine someone hitting you with a slingshot just for fun. That would just.
Yeah, that is actually true. That's horrible.
What?
That's horrible.
Did you hear what he said?
No.
He said. You could say
Imagine someone just hitting you with a slingshot for fun.
Oh my God.
yeah.
That would just be
A
horrible.
bow and arrow.
That's so messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just stuck to shooting fruit after that. Which was fun.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's move on here. So what's some advice that has stuck with you throughout growing up?
You go first, Tanner.
Oh, me? What about Clyn?
Well, I asked the question.
I never ask questions.
All right. I remember I had this young men's leader when I was like 13, 14, so like 3 years ago. And he showed me the scripture. Sorry to get like religious, but it said, "Oh, be wise. What can I say more?" The shortest scripture I've ever read, but it really stuck with me. And like I've always tried to make wise decisions, and obviously I haven't done the best, but like it just has always stuck with me, and I've always thought back to it and was like, "Is this decision wise? Like, what is the outcome?" And it's just it's pretty impactful.
Oh, be wise.
Jacob 6. It's in Jacob chapter 6.
Yeah,
I'm right
Jacob's
there. I'm
Really?
a chapter away. Stuck in the middle. Jacob 5. Yeah.
Oh,
for
the vineyard
yeah.
scripture. I'm actually coming up on that.
Yeah. For me, I can't remember where I saw this advice. It could have been from a cliche Instagram motivational account. But it's helped me just like put a lot of things into perspective and be okay with it. Is that like I can't remember the exact phrasing of it, but it was like, if it's important enough, it'll happen. If it doesn't happen, if it wasn't important enough. And it's something to realize that like all the things that I have accomplished in my life, I really did prioritize, and the things that I've let go, like they really weren't as important to me. Otherwise, I would make them happen. So it's kind of a redundant statement almost, but it like helps me let go of the things I didn't accomplish and know that like I didn't put enough work into them, which is okay because I just didn't like find them as important.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and it's hard sometimes because I feel like I spread myself really thin between like trying to do this and videos and climbing and student council and still school and all that.
Yeah.
So sometimes I have to let a couple things go and know what's most important.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
What about you, Clyn?
Well, I feel like, we all hear, like, quotes here and there that are, like, why are you smiling?
Sorry. I just can't smiling. I just look at you and it's just, I can't smile.
It's like the most creepy thing. Sorry.
Okay, you just make me smile. I don't know.
I can't remember what I was saying now.
Not quotes or anything.
Something
Yeah,
we all
yeah.
see quotes or
Yeah,
something.
you all see quotes. But, like, one thing that has stuck with me since... Sorry. One thing that has stuck with me since I was, like, a little kid was, like, I was in charge of, like, I don't know what the job was. It was, like, vacuuming the family room, and I vacuumed, and I put the vacuum away, and then my dad walked in and was like, Clyn, did you vacuum? And I said, yes. And he said, well, it doesn't look like it. And then he said, and I'll always remember this, he said, when you do a job, people should walk in and say, wow, Clyn must have done this. And so that has always stuck with me. Like, when I'm doing a job, like, do it well enough so that people know that Clyn did this. You know?
Oh,
yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
That's actually something I've, like, I'm not sure. I'm not very articulate today. It's whatever, though. Eloquent, whatever you want to say. But something I've tried to do as much as possible is I try to put, like, my full effort into whatever I am pursuing, which sounds like kind of in that sense, but like in a small cases too. Like I try to put my best effort into whatever it is I'm doing, whether it's whatever class I'm in, no matter how much I'm not interested in it. Like I try to put my full effort forward right then and there, whether I'm vacuuming the stairs, cleaning a toilet. You would not believe how much I clean a toilet. I pop the seat off, I get under the hatches, I go crazy under there.
Well, yeah. And I always, because also being the oldest sibling, like, I always do it well enough so that my parents, like, know that I did it. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm cleaning their toilet or whatever. So.
You clean parents'
That was
toilet?
Clyn.
Yeah, I clean, like, all the
Oh,
Did it
man.
there.
I'm the
That's a
youngest.
Clyn
I have
job.
my own bathroom that I have to clean everything.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. It's nice to have my own bathroom.
We divide it up so this is not that interesting to people, but like we divide it up so like one person does all the sinks and all the bathrooms and like all the toilets and all right. I think we're running out of time. I didn't forget to set a timer, but
There's one there, if we can read it.
can you read that, Nimmer?
I can't read it. I need glasses.
2:53 is that? No, 30 minutes and 46 seconds. We've been here for 30 minutes. Wow.
Yeah, it goes by
Yeah,
quick.
it goes by quick.
Yeah.
Well.
Do we have a lighthearted question?
Yeah,
at the
well,
very
I was
end?
I don't know how lighthearted this is, but I think this is a good question that everyone should think about.
Okay.
What is a guilty pleasure that you have?
Who wants to start? Who wants to
Clayton,
start?
you start this time.
Come
No,
on.
you start this time.
Okay,
Let me ask the question then.
All right, this is a little embarrassing that I'm like announcing this to like everyone.
All
But
56 of our listeners, whoever it is.
But I really like Billie Eilish songs. Like,
I like them too.
not all of them, but like there are a couple songs that I'm like, wow, this is a really good song, and I like listen to them, not around other people, because I like,
of course.
yeah, because I don't want to like admit that, but I there's like not her popular songs, but like the lesser known songs that I actually, I think they're really good. Also, I'm also like addicted to Oreos. I eat so.
I had 3 Oreos right after dinner tonight.
Really, yeah.
Those are so good. I just always
so,
eat chocolate of some
Yeah,
sort.
don't bring Oreos around me because I'll eat them all.
They're good.
All right,
Okay,
Tanner.
for me, I also have a music one. I feel like everyone's kind of has a music guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
But for me, it's Taylor Swift's album Reputation. Whenever I play Mario Kart, I listen to that album.
Oh gosh.
And I go so hard.
That's really
I think
funny.
it's so fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't really care.
Speaking of Taylor Swift, there's one song that I love.
Yeah, wait,
And
which
it's
one?
You Belong With Me. I think that is the
gosh.
funnest song.
Oh, Taylor
to, like,
Swift.
yell, you know what I mean? Do you remember when we went to see it?
Yeah, I was just watching that video actually. Oh Oh man.
Oh,
no.
Taylor Swift, freaking rock.
No, but one time I remember I went to the climbing gym, and I don't usually like listen to music when I climb because it's kind of a pain to have my phone in my pocket, and I'm not about to wear like some big Bluetooth headphones. And I don't have AirPods, whatever. But I was listening to Reputation, and I was getting so hyped when I was climbing, listening to it. It was just so fun.
That's funny.
Yeah. And I don't really have any food guilty pleasures because I don't feel guilty when I eat anything. I feel totally fine until I throw up.
All right. Yeah. That's great. Great. I think that people should be less guilty about what they eat in general.
Food pride.
Especially if you're skinny. So,
Pride.
yeah. All right, Nim.
All right. There's two of them. First off is there's a show called Love Island. Don't watch the UK version. That one's awful. Like, oh my gosh.
I can't believe you know.
Like, I haven't watched it.
There's a UK
No.
I tried it out.
I haven't watched it, but I've heard that it's bad. Like, it's bad. The US
All their
version,
crooked
though.
teeth trying to make out. And, it's
Not like bad quality, like, there's other certain types of bad. The US version, though, is just, I don't know. You go watch it. You'll enjoy it. There's a lot of drama on it. A lot of drama. I liked it.
All right.
All right, and then the second one is this food. You guys are going to think this is gross, but as a kid, after my mom made bacon, like my grandpa, my great-great-grandpa was from Germany. They've done this for a while. You take bread and you dip it in the bacon grease, and then you just pour sugar on it.
What?
Sugar?
Yes.
That sounds disgusting.
It sounds gross. It sounds so gross. I haven't eaten it in a while because I know I'll get a heart attack. But I promise you, it tastes so good. Like, you have to try it. It tastes so
my
good.
Gosh.
What?
That's
What does it
horrible.
taste like? Like a bacon
Is it like a
sugary
donut?
sandwich?
Like
I don't know. I don't know how to
Donut.
explain it, but it is so good.
Really?
You'll have to try it sometime.
Next time I
Just
got some
don't
bacon
do
grease.
it.
Yeah, next time.
Do it soon before you get old, or you'll die. I promise you'll die.
Do it young while you can eat whatever you want.
It's good though. It's
Yeah.
good.
Oh,
All right.
that's-
That sounds amazing.
I think.
All right.
Not
Well,
sure.
I think we covered pretty much everything I wanted to talk about
Yeah.
today. So we've
was
kept
fun.
a pretty strict schedule
Yes.
for the most part.
Mm. Didn't go into throw up too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Anything you want to talk about?
No,
Mention?
that's-
Any last words?
Subscribe to Tanner's YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, it's really
Hit it up. It's
Thank
pretty
you.
good.
He just posted a video.
Love Clyn in
God.
English class. We're always having fun.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Right on.
Right on.
Thanks, guys.
That's everything.